Alright guys, I'm back with my WWE Raw review. Now it's gonna be a short WWE Raw review because as you know guys, I don't sound too good. I haven't been sounding good. And I'm sorry guys I didn't do a Raw review last week. This is when it all kinda started, like back in the last week, this cold I've had. And I've still got this week actually. The sound of my voice, I also don't sound I'm still not sounding too good, but I did watch Raw this week. I watched it last week. Before I go into this week's Raw review, I'm not going to do like a normal Raw review. I'm just going to talk about a few things on this last episode of Raw, which I did like. So yeah. I do want to talk about the Big Bossman getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. Now, I'm happy about this. Now, it wasn't a Hall of Fame induction that I would have thought about. I mean, he had a decent career, didn't he? The Big Bossman. So he had a decent career. He wasn't one of those guys he wasn't one of those Hall of Fame inductees like a Bruno Sammartino. It wasn't like the Macho Man or Jake the Snake Rouse or Razor Ramon. But he was a good mid-carder back in the 90s and late 80s, early 90s, late 90s and early 80s. He was, a really good mid-carder. He was with the Corporation. I remember him and the Undertaker in the match at WrestleMania 15, was it? And that was a match where Big Bossman gets choked and stuff. Yeah, and then I think after that, when he came back, was it the Invasion angle, he came back because he got injured in the Invasion angle, and then he came back, and then he got buried, and then after that he left the company, and then he had a heart attack, which was very tragic, but at least he's getting honored now for his things, what he did in the 90s and 80s, so I'm happy for the Big Bossman. Jackie got inducted to the Hall of Fame on this last episode of Raw, and it made me feel old as hell. Not only Big Bossman is inducted now, but now Jackie is now inducted now. I mean, I remember watching her when I was 3 or 4, back in 2001, and man, it just makes me feel so old now that she's going in the Hall of Fame. I don't know how you guys feel about those two guys, those two people getting inducted in the Hall of Fame though. Was it a good thing? Was it a bad thing? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. Anyway, on to this last episode of Raw. So Raw this week, it was a decent show. How did Raw open up this week? Dean Ambrose came out. Oh, let me think. Yeah, Dean Ambrose came out. He talks about Roadblock and how the controversial thing where Dean Ambrose won the match, but his foot was Dean Ambrose won the match, but Triple H's foot was under the ropes, and then he says that he was screwed out of the title and stuff, and he had Triple H beat for the 3 count, which he did, but Triple H had his foot underneath the rope and stuff and stuff like that. Which he has a fair point. I didn't watch Roadblock, but I saw pictures on Facebook and what WWE showed us on this last episode of Raw, and yeah. But yeah, we all knew Dean Ambrose wasn't gonna, beat Triple H anyway, because he's gonna be Triple H Roman Reigns. We've known that since November of last year, so we all know it wasn't gonna be Dean Ambrose going into WrestleMania. It would have been nice to see Dean Ambrose as the new WWE World Champion, but if they're gonna do that, they're probably gonna wait till SummerSlam or Survivor Series to probably do that. They're probably not gonna do that just yet. They're probably going to wait till SummerSlam or Survivor Series to put the title on Dean Ambrose. But yeah, like I said, that was a good segment. And then Brock comes out later on in the show, and Heyman and Ambrose go back and forth on the mic talking about how Brock Lesnar should be the main event of WrestleMania, because obviously Heyman thinks that Brock is the main event, which he's the main event talent, but we all know it's going to be Reigns versus Triple H is going to be the main event, or Undertaker and Shane's going to be the main event anyway. So yeah, and then we get a Divas match. I can't remember who wrestled. It was the Divas, wasn't it? So there you go. And then we had Chris Jericho versus Neville. Jericho beats Neville. Oh no, Neville won the match. I don't know. Neville won the match. And then after the match, Jericho's cutting an awesome heel promo talking about, you fans, all you Jerichoholics, turn your back on me for AJ Styles. Also, if you guys don't know, if you didn't watch, well, I didn't do a Raw review last week, but also as you saw last week, Jericho turned heel last week, which was fucking awesome. Jericho is very good at being a babyface and heel, and not many wrestlers, not many professional wrestlers are good at being both, like being a heel and a face. There's only been a select few wrestlers who've been good at heels and face. I mean, Triple H was a good heel and a good babyface. CM Punk was a good heel and a babyface, and so is Chris Jericho a good heel and a good babyface. So is Shawn Michaels a good heel and a good babyface. But I think he was like Shawn Michaels. He was a more better babyface, I think, than he was a heel. Like, I think the fans later on in his career, after the whole drugs thing and stuff, they warmed up to him so well. Shawn Michaels, when he was a face and that. But I did love Shawn Michaels' heel work. I've seen some of his stuff. Like in the, like the new like when he was feuding with Bret and stuff, and that's some awesome heel stuff. And when he was with DX feuding with Bret, awesome. But yeah, like I said, this Chris Jericho and AJ Styles match, I think this is the 4th match they've had now, and it looks like, also we all know AJ's going to get the win at WrestleMania anyway, because it's going to be a special WrestleMania. It makes sense. I mean, I hope they don't pull a Sting on AJ Styles, which, I mean, look what happened last year with Sting and Triple H. Triple H made Sting lose his first WrestleMania match. I hope that doesn't happen with AJ Styles this year. And then we have Sami Zayn versus The Miz. Sami Zayn beats The Miz, so it's going to be Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens for the IC title. We had an awesome Leagues of Nations versus the New Day match. It looks like the New Day turning babyface now because the Leagues of Nations absolutely destroyed them on this last episode of Raw. And it looks like Leagues of Nations versus New Day feuding at WrestleMania. And the New Day turning babyface now. And Kofi reminding us of Booty Hole cereals. And then we had a segment between Triple H and Dolph and Steph. I don't know how this. Well, how did the segment start? It was Triple H got a promo about his win and stuff over Dean Ambrose and other stuff like that. And he talks about Roman Reigns, and then Dolph comes out and he says that, and then Stephanie says, I'm sick of. Dolph tells Steph that I'm sick of you telling me I'm gonna get fired if I send a tweet. I've been sending tweets to you, and then I sent this one tweet to you, and then you said you carry on like that, you'll get fired. And then everything I do, I try to, you want me to get fired and stuff. And then Dolph's like, if I'm not good enough, then I can just leave, the WWE, and I can go somewhere else. Basically, that's what he was saying, in his own kind of words, really. Which he does. I mean, if he went to TNA now or Ring of Honor, he would get pushed a lot better than he has in WWE. Put it that way. So yeah, and then he talks about how him and guys like Dean Ambrose and CM Punk and Daniel Bryan have all been screwed by the system, but eventually they have been the number one guys in the company and stuff like that, and they prove every single night that they are good wrestlers and stuff. That was a good point. I'm glad he brought that up. And then Seth puts him in the match against Triple H. So it's Triple H versus Dolph next. And this was a really good match between Dolph and Triple H. Triple H goes for the high knee, and Dolph comes out with a DDT. Then Dolph gets hit with a spine buster. Dolph just hit Triple H with a zigzag, but Triple H kicks out. Hits it with a super kick. Triple H kicks out. And then Triple H hits Dolph with pedigree 1, 2, 3. Dolph wins the match. After the match, Roman Reigns comes out, and Triple H and Roman Reigns have this awesome brawl. They're brawling backstage in the tech area. They're brawling around the ring, backstage, like I said. And Roman Reigns smacks Triple H over the back with a TV, and he's like, "You want some?" And then there's like some jobbers there, like some security guys, and he's like, "Do you want some? You want some?" Yeah, that was so awesome. And then that was the end of that. That was a really good segment. And then we get to the main event. It was Vince and Shane. It was Vince, Shane, and Taker. And Vince says to Undertaker that he wants Undertaker to beat Shane up and shove his face against that steel. And then Shane comes out, and I kind of skipped Shane there. And after that, Undertaker chokeslam Shane, and then Vince thinks that Undertaker's on Vince's side. He's like, yay, well done, Taker and all that. And then Taker's like, I'm not on your side, Vince. I'm just doing this because it's WrestleMania season. And he's like, okay, bro, I'm going out the ring now. And then that was the end of Raw. So yeah, Raw this week, it was a decent show, but like I said, 3 weeks to go to WrestleMania, and I'm still not excited for WrestleMania. This is not a good sign for WWE, and at this point, WWE are the underdogs at this year's WrestleMania. They are, and I'll make a video about this in the next couple of days because I need to talk about this because it's going to be a very good topic I'll talk about. So what do you guys think of this last episode of Raw, guys? That was my WWE Raw review for the, what day was it? The 14th, was it the 14th? Yeah, 14th of the 3rd, 2015. Thanks for watching, guys. Break out.